still a good-looking woman. And nobody else would have put up with me all these years.
So why are you sharing my bed?
Are you kidding? How many good-looking young women am I going to meet before I have to switch to shuffleboard? What I don't understand is why you want to fool around with me. I'm much older than you. Why, for goodness sakes, I've got children your age.
You're a sweet man, Roger. You're kind, you don't patronize, and you're fun. We're just two people who like each other who are sharing a project, that's all. And we're not hurting anyone. I don't take sex all that seriously. I like you, that's all. So lighten up.
I wish it were that easy, but Veronica, I'm from a different time, a different generation. Every once in a while, thankfully not too often, I feel a sense of guilt.
Because you're betraying your wife?
You know, that never occurred to me. No, how would she know? No, it's because of the way I'm treating you. To me, love has always required commitment, and I'm committed to Samantha.
I'm not asking you for anything.
Oh, I know you're not. You're great, you're terrific in the stack. You don't ask anything from me.
Don't get soppy on me now, Roger.
Oh, don't worry. I have a knack for overcoming any feelings I have that I shouldn't be doing whatever it is I'm doing. It comes with a lot of it.
So why are you so worried about your wife?
Well, she's getting suspicious of my whereabouts. I can tell from the cracks she makes. You know, I don't think she thinks I'm really coming here every day.
Do you want a note to bring home?
Samantha is one of the sanest, most rational, reasonable people you'd ever want to meet.
Well, I hope I never do. What's the door? Oh, who could it be at this hour? Coming.
Hey, what are you doing here?
You know, Counsel, it's a funny thing. I was just about to ask you that.
Look, guys, I've retired. I don't practice law anymore. I'm a writer now.
This is an interesting point. That is exactly what your partner told Joe here.
But I told him I was sure he was laboring under misapprehension.
Laboring under a misapprehension?
You see, Roger, John Carlo is in urgent need of your assistance with a small enforcement problem with the IRS.
Yeah, and the deduction he took on his return for our business expense.
Oh, you mean the coffins?
Bingo!
Roger is... Now, what was that line again?
Well, look, fellows.
That's right. Wait.
Well, look, fellows, I'm really in retirement.
Oh, that's me. Look, fellas, I'm really retired now. I'm sure there are a lot of good guys back at the office.
Giancarlo wants you guys. You know his business. The other guys know films.
And John Carlo would take it amiss if I were to tell him you were retiring from him. I do not think you would want me to do that.
You know how easily he gets retired.
And there are still more than a few coffins left over from the 94 shipment.
Oh, well, when you put it that way.
Roger, who are these people?
Chapter 3.
Oh.
So that's it. No wonder your partner wouldn't talk.
Oh, if it's not what you're thinking, Joe, this is a work of fiction. No one's going to know who it's about.
Like the Godfather?
Yeah, like the God.
Am I in the book?
Not so you know.
Roger, this is not one of your best ideas. The wrong people could take an interest in a book like this. You know a lot. You've been with us for almost 40 years now.
Yeah, but only in the tax area.
Ah, but you know, so to speak, where the bodies are buried.
Not actually, no.
And I really am concerned that Giancarlo would take it amiss if you were to take certain people and put a sword in their hands.
Not to mention the strike force.
But I'm only writing about people, not how they got to be people.
But even if you change the name, Roger, how it each knows you be with us.
And people might decide to act on what they read in the kind of book we're talking about. I do not think Giancarlo would like that very much.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put in anything embarrassing. You know, I'd never write about what happened at the ice house.
You see, Raj, most people don't even know there was a nice house.
I really think you should consider a change in the book's emphasis.
Yeah, write about your old partners, or judges, or politicians on the ticket.
Unless that would be redundant.
Well, I'll certainly take your words to heart, Vinny.
That would be a fine idea, Roger. I do not think you would want to accept a Pulitzer Prize posthumously.
So, who's the broad?
Veronica?
Yeah, Veronica.
She's my ghostwriter.
Is that what they call it now?
I don't want you to get the wrong idea.
Of course not. We wouldn't consider doing that, Roger. But look, I really think it's time that you sat down with Giancarlo to discuss your forthcoming masterpiece.
Yeah, you can talk it over with him, when the two of you get ready with the tax audit.
You know, I thought I was through with my practice, but it looks like some parts of it are just going to go on forever.
Now you are talking, baby. Have a seat while we tell you about this. You, Joe, me, Giancarlo, we're a team. Your personal status couldn't matter less. Funny, you're a stranger to law now, wandered away from home. Funny, we're a stranger to law too, small world, isn't it? Funny, you're a man who likes teamwork when the sports boy meets girl. Funny, 'cause we love a team spirit, small world, isn't it? We have so much in common, our fit is so dead on. We could pool our resources by joining forces in our common. Lucky, you're a man with great talent, likes to chart courses new. Lucky, 'cause we've hatched a plan for you, small world, isn't it? Funny, isn't it? There's much for us you can do.
Roger, this is more than I bargained for.
You can straighten out your love life later, counselor. Right now, Giancarlo is ready to meet with the two of you.
Now?
You betcha, sweetheart.
My mother told me that one day I'd get into trouble answering ads in the personals.
I would never let my sister do it.
You had a family?
Oh, perhaps you think we are not of woman born?
Right, a literate mobster.
Let's go, lady. This ain't Shakespeare.
The car is out front. The next stage you two step upon will be in Howard Beach. All right, you two wait here. I will go and see if Giancarlo is available.
Roger, what is this place?
This is the Howard Beach Social Club. Giancarlo has a suite of offices next door above the delicatessen.
The Howard Beach Social Club?
Yeah, it's sort of a neighborhood hangout.
Like Kiwanis?
Not quite.
It doesn't feel like a social club. It has a sinister air about it.
No, this is just a place where guys go to escape their wives and entertain the FBI.
Roger, just who is this Giancarlo anyway? I've never read about him in the newspapers, and your book doesn't mention him by name.
Well, he lives a simple life. He's not one for publicity.
Is he like the godfather of one of those syndicates?
Well, he has a stake in a lot of businesses, some legit, some a bit more questionable.
You worked for him, right?
Oh, no, I was never an employee. I represented him from time to time in a professional capacity whenever he had problems with the IRS. It was simply a part of my practice.
Just how many of his associates and employees did you represent anyway?
Oh, quite a few. I get a lot of referrals. It was hard to turn down the business.
I'll bet.
You see, Roger is here, just as you requested. Roger,
It's a pleasure to see you.
Lieutenant.
And how gracious of you to drop everything to come to my assistance.
It was Giancarlo. I told Vinny, I really can't do it. I'm no longer practicing law. I've given up the business.
Surely you wouldn't desert me in my hour of need.
But
Your luxurious home in Queens, the exotic vacations you've taken over the years, these have all been the results of our association, have they not?
well, of course.
Is it not true that thanks to our organization, you, the supreme master of the black arts of accountancy, have been enabled over the years to embark upon a fantasy life?
Well, yes, but
And now, you would deny me the benefit of your services?
never. Never. Anything you want, anything.
I would expect no less. I hear a bird, a Glockamora bird. It may well be he's bringing me a cheery word from my old friend, who's come to me again. He'll grow to know our friendship old will have no end. Now tell me, please, how are things in Glockamora? Does your mansion still punch the sun? Do you still vacay in Monaco, Turks and Caicos, Nice and Tobago? How are things in Glockamora? Does your little woman still keep your home? What a shame to think a little tip about that young chick could lead to wifely rage. No, that woman's scorn sprouts the devil's horns. So I say, my family counselor, by my side you'll always stay. What I ask you'll do while whistling Touralay. How are things in Glockamora this fine day? So I say, my family counselor, by my side you'll always stay. What I ask you'll do while whistling Touralay. How are things in Glockamora this fine day? And who is your charming associate?
I can speak for myself. My name is Veronica Madsden, and I'd like to know what right you people had to drag me down here in the middle of the night.
Now, I'm sure no coercion was intended, but I understand that Roger here is writing a book about our activities, and you are helping him. We only want to help you get the facts straight. All we want is to assist you, dear lady.
Really? You would have no problem with accounting my life as a bar, my years at Howard University?
I'm afraid a realistic account of your practice could cause certain problems for our organization. but a subtle change in the book's direction, perhaps. An emphasis on the good we do. Now that intrigues me. You see, Ms. Manston, our little family has suffered terrible press over the years from irresponsible journalists and members of the organized crime strike force. We would welcome an opportunity to set the record straight. And once Roger here has solved our little problem with the IRS, a straightforward business deduction if ever I saw one, I thought we could all sit down together, and work up a very nice presentation. No names, mind you, but an account of the many charitable activities we perform and the work we provide for so many. You would have no objection to this, I am sure.
Perish the thought.
And what's more, both Vinny and Joe will be able to give you substantial help. They have long had literary aspirations.
Literary aspirations?
Yes, they both attended New York University. Indeed, Vinny majored in Elizabethan drama.
I wrote my thesis on the use of poisons in The White Devil.
I'd like to know just how they came to work for you.
Oh, I'm afraid, my dear, that a degree in English literature can rarely be translated into a paying proposition once the ivy halls are left behind.
Well, Roger, this is not at all what I expected. I think you'd better find yourself another writer.
Joe, has your research indicated how long these two have been, shall we say, collaborating on this book of Roger's?
At least a solid month.
Then I'm afraid, my dear, that you must have far too elaborate a knowledge of our organization to be allowed to pass silently into the night. We must all persevere.
And if I refuse?
Oh, I don't think you'd want to do that, Miss Madsen. By now, I'm sure Roger has told you quite a bit about our modus operandi.
No, Vinny, there's no call for that. I'm sure we're all reasonable people here. Roger, have you thought of a name for our epic?
I thought I would leave that to you, Jean-Paul.
It's splendid. I shall give the matter considerable thought. And now, let us go on up to my office so we can prepare for tomorrow's tax.
Tomorrow? That doesn't give me very much time.
You're fully familiar with the problem. I'm sure you'll do your best. You always do. As you know, I'm counting on you. If Capone had you by his side, Chicago would be a free city today.
I'd like to know just why the government is auditing you anyway.
It's a simple matter, really. Each year we purchase a considerable number of coffins and distribute them to our customers. The government is questioning certain deductions we've been taking.
Coffins? Are you in the mortuary business?
Only indirectly.
You see, dear, we donate these coffins to key customers. And that's where Roger here comes in. He's been setting up to conduct the coffins as a business expense.
A business expense?
Yes, a business expense. We do an enormous business with restaurants, catering houses, garbage haulers, laundries throughout the city and its boroughs. And, quite naturally, of course, every year a not inconsiderable number of our customers or their help pass on.
Yeah, and we always contribute to coffins. It's a form of advertising.
The customers come to expect it.
It's simply an aid to the growth of our enterprises. Yet, for reasons I just can't understand, the IRS periodically questions the legitimacy of the deduction.
Maybe the government thinks you've been hurrying your customers along on their way to Valhalla.
My dear, you should not listen to these scurrilous rumors in the press. I'll have you know that neither I nor my associates have ever been convicted of the many horrible crimes of which we have been accused.
No convictions?
None.
And no witnesses, neither.
Veronica, I'd better go off with Jean-Paul.
Vinny, Ms. Maston, Vinny and Joe will take you from here. Vinny, you take care of these arrangements as we've discussed.
I'll call you tomorrow, as soon as the audit is over.
I hope you know what you're doing, Roger, for both of our sakes.
So, Veronica, how much does a condo in Sutton Place cost?
More than I bargained for.
Get your bag, Toots.
Toots?
We're not taking you back to your little nest just yet.
What do you mean?
Once Roger finishes his meeting with Giancarlo about the audit, then we'll take you home.
Giancarlo will give us a call. If everything's okay, you'll be back before you know it.
And if it's not?
You don't want to bother your pretty little head about that then. I'm sure Roger knows the score.
So, where do we go now?
There's a little motel around the corner. We'll get a room and wait there.
You're taking me to a motel?
Oh, don't worry. We'll take good care of you.
Just how do you plan to do that?
The same way you take care of your orphans.
Coming! Hello, may I help you?
Hello, I'm Samantha Sher. I'm looking for my husband. I want to leave him a message. Do you know him?
Your husband?
Yes. Roger Sherman? He's one of your ghostwriters has been helping me with a book.
Yes, actually, I do.
Oh. Well, one of his clients is very, very anxious to meet with him. And they've been trying to call here all afternoon. They didn't get any answer. So I figured I'd help him out. Actually, I've been kind of curious to see where my husband has been spending all of his time. Well, is he here?
No, he's not.
Oh. Well, I really am surprised. I'd expected to find him here.
You could probably find him with a client of his in Queens. Something about an audit.
Oh, well, I guess I'll catch up with him later. Where does Roger work?
Right here in the apartment. This is where the office is.
Oh, really? I'd love to see the room here, I'd say.
Actually, it's right here.
Here?
Yes, this is just a studio apartment, no other rooms. There's a kitchenette in one corner, and a bathroom in another corner, and a bed that comes out of the wall.
Well, it's cozy. Huh. And who is this ghostwriter?
Why do you ask?
Simple curiosity. Roger's attention span is not the greatest. And he's been spending so much time here. I was kind of curious about what kind of a paragon it was who could keep his creative juices flowing.
Actually, I've been helping him write the book.
You?
Why so surprised?
You're the ghostwriter?
I've been doing this for years. I'm a professional.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a minute.
Believe me, this has been strictly business.
Some business. How many other authors have you had?
Quite a few. I've been ghosting since I left college.
And how long has that been?
About 6 years ago.
Tell me, does ghostwriting pay well?
It pays enough to pay the rent.
I'm not surprised. Well, it has certainly been an eye-opener meeting with you. And when you see my husband, I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell him that I stopped by. I wouldn't want him to think that I was checking up on him. And, these authors are so temperamental.
Of course.
I'll catch up with Roger later.
It's good to see you again, Mrs. Sherman.
It's lovely to see you again, Marilyn.
Now, you have a 10 o'clock with Mr. Schwimmer.
I do.
We really miss Roger around here.
after he left, Mr. Schwimmer canceled the rest of his clients, took the rest of the day off, and went to a Turkish bath. Oh.
Samantha, right on time. Marilyn, roll my calls. Sam, would you like some coffee?
No, this is strictly business.
Business. All right. Sam, you can leave us. I'll call if I need you.
Arthur, you have been a good friend to Roger and me for over 40 years.
I hope so.
You were his roommate at Harvard. You've been his partner here in the firm. You've done both of our wills. You've helped us with all of the problems with the
Sam,
boys.
I've got a fair idea of what's bothering me. It's Roger, right? He's not handling his retirement too well?
He's not handling it at all. He's spending it all in this ghostwriter's apartment. And he's doing it with my blessing.
You've met?
Yes. She's beautiful. She's not even half my age. Our youngest daughter could have been her classmate. And he has been spending all day and all night for almost a month in that apartment. And again, with my blessings.
You believe their relationship to be meretricious?
Did Clinton inhale?
Have you spoken to Roger about all of this?
What's the use? If I confront him, I'll kill him. No, I just want to know, what are my rights if I just kick him out?
Well, you know, I couldn't represent you as a client. I couldn't represent you, either of you. You're both friends, as well as clients, and Roger's been a partner of mine.
No, this is as a friend. In the event of a divorce, what would I get?
Not enough. Your investments are sufficient for the two of you to live comfortably together, but apart, your standard of living would fall considerably.
Well, what about the house?
You wanted a big wedding for Emily. Roger took out a second mortgage.
Oh, so I can't live comfortably by myself. Maybe murder was a good idea.
For that, you need the kind of expert Roger would be more likely to know than I would.
No, you're a lot of help.
My best advice to you is to confront Roger. Clear the air between the two of you. Seek reconciliation. Your marriage has lasted for over 40 years. Roger's never had a fling before.
Yeah, Monica was Bill's first.
Maybe it's just a mild flirtation. After all, Roger is getting on in years, and Veronica is very tempting.
Veronica? Then you met her?
I had to see Roger on business.
And you never said anything to me. Well, I can see I'll get real practical out here. Let me tell you something, Roger. Roger's not going to get away with this. Not after 40 years. He's not going to get away with treating me like this. He will pay, and it'll be a lot worse than any divorce settlement. He will never forget. When I get through with him...
Sam, get a grip on yourself.
I practically put them together. I told him to put an ad in the personals. I told him to go out and work. I trusted him. And he let me down big time.
So, what's your next move?